A listener named Matthias writes in and once again has gone to the well at Craigslist. I mean, that is just a fountain of show material. The stuff people say on there, the stuff people write. It's really amazing. And many of you find comments that people make on some of the boards on there and then send them in and they blow me away. And you bet they make good show material. Here is somebody who is about to get married, writing about a problem he has. All of these people are essentially anonymous, so God only knows who they are. They could be your neighbor. They could be my neighbor. Here it is. How do you do it? The posting begins. I'm engaged and getting married in October. But I'm starting to run out of excuses for avoiding sex with my fiancé, who, irony of ironies, was a virgin when we started dating. Any sustained sex avoidance by me is instantly met with a demand by her to, quote, talk about it. Gulp. The only thing worse than having sex with her is talking about having sex with her. Oddly enough, I had a healthy sex drive until I met her. Brothers, I'm in deep here. Any help will be appreciated. This is from the Los Angeles Bulletin Board of Craigslist.org. Well, I just have one comment to this guy if he's out there somewhere. Pal, why would you marry somebody you feel that way about? Now, it's one thing if you've been married 10 years or 15 years and you've seen it all before, or she's chunked up, or she only likes to lick it around the edges. You know what I'm talking about. But we're not talking about that. You're not getting married till October. You are not required to get married. You're not under any obligation to get married. Not even a little bit. You could cancel the whole thing right now. And then go have sex with somebody you're hot for. Sex is one of the most important elements of a relationship, and for a man, I think it's number one. Any man who is not sexually satisfied in a relationship won't be in that relationship forever, girls. And I would say, pal, that if this is how you feel, it's time to go. Time to get out. Now's the time before you're stuck. Once you get married, it's going to cost you a lot of money to get out. Right now, you can get out. What's it going to cost you? The deposit on a catering hall? Please, get out now. Now. That would be my advice for you. Now, having said that, I know there are many of you guys out there who feel this way. Maybe you're married, maybe she's a girlfriend, maybe she's your live-in, maybe you are engaged to her like the guy who wrote to Craigslist. Started off, you couldn't wait to get in her pants, and now she is all over you. She is mounting you like a stallion, climbing all over you, begging you to put out, and for whatever reason, you just don't want it. You don't like the way she does it. You don't like her being the aggressor. You got tired of having to cajole her and beg her to have sex with you, and so eventually you put her on ice. And now the tables have turned, and now she's in need because she's an attention whore. And the minute you tell her that you're not interested, suddenly she's a nymphomaniac. Ever been with a chick like that? The chick you had to coax and cajole and beg to have sex with you? Huh? I've been with chicks like that. You got to beg them. They tell you things like they won't have sex with you during their period, or they won't have sex with you while they're watching TV, or they won't have sex with you because they just washed their hair, or they won't have sex with you because they already took a shower today. or they won't have, and the list of reasons is long. And then you get to the point where you're like, I am tired of begging. I mean, is this you? Have you ever been in this situation? You say to yourself, you know what? When I was unattached, I was knocking it out of the park every single night with a different chick. If one chick didn't want to do it, if one of them had the vapors, if one of them had her period, if one of them had to wash her hair, you would just move down the list to the next. Now you've decided to hook up with one particular chick, and guess what? Now you're begging. Okay? You're begging, you're pleading. So you put her on ice. You just say, you know what? I'm not going to humiliate myself. I'm not going to lower myself anymore. It's not fun. I'm tired of being in this position of always having to beg for it. And chicks are used to guys constantly hitting on them, putting the make on them and stuff. The minute you show no interest, suddenly they turn into nymphomaniacs and they need sex 4 or 5 times a day. But by now you've lost interest. And so suddenly they're like, you know, getting on top of you and dry humping you and all that stuff, just trying to, please, I need it now. So that chick who was, you know, hey, I just filed my nails, I can't have sex with you. Suddenly now she needs sex all day long because you're telling her, you know what, I'm not that interested in it. Are you with somebody where you're just begging off, or you're just trying to come up with excuses? I'm talking to guys now. Chicks are constantly coming up with excuses why they don't need sex. I'm talking to guys, because everybody thinks that guys just want to get laid. That guys just want sex, and they'll take it from anyone, anywhere, anytime. Even people they're sick of. Even people who humiliated them or made them beg for it. They think guys will just take sex anywhere they can get it. That we are so desperate to get laid that we will take it from any source. And yet, I know there are guys out there right now who are having it put in front of them like a slab in front of a pit bull, and they're going, not into it. If that's you, I want to know why.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
All you women up there that are listening to the show, stop giving Tom a hard time. This man is telling you guys the truth.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Don on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's happening, Professor?
Not much, Don.
Hey, listen, I got a deal here. Great opening of the show, second time, long time. A couple issues here that you're hitting the nail on the head is that you got to have sex massive times. You got to get it all out. Yep. No doubt about it. Couldn't be more right. Here's the problem, though, combining your last caller. I got a virgin deal, and then I ignored her, and then we've been, I ignored her, and then she's going crazy, just like you mentioned a minute ago. Well, I started laying off. She's seeing a shrink once a week, and she's bringing this up to the shrink, and I'm in the car, and she's dropping the bomb. She's telling the shrink. But then I said, coming up with excuses. I've come up with every excuse in the book. And so now the shrink finally said, well, maybe it was kind of weird. It was a twist of fate. The shrink took my side and said, well, maybe he doesn't want to. And the shrink was giving advice that you would give to a chick. Yeah? So basically, I don't know. It's kind of like she has a butterface. She was a virgin, but she's really good on the inside. I don't know. You have any advice? Yeah.
What do you need advice for?
Well, everything's going good. It's just a really weird situation. I've gotten all my, I've done just about everything you could possibly do. You could do out there, and then along comes this person, but then
Why do you have a relationship with a butterface? Is that the best you can do?
No.
Then why are you doing it? Relegate her to booty call status.
She's on the inside. She's not a biatch.
So what? You have to look at that and get aroused.
Yeah, but I live in Newport, and there's so many hot pieces of tail out there, but they're all a bunch of, and it's hard to find a good one, but she's not a butterface. Are
you looking for a relationship, or are you looking to get laid?
It seems like I've fallen into one is the problem here. You've
fallen into love?
I've fallen into a relationship.
Oh, what are you doing?
I don't know. I haven't said anything about commitment. She starts bringing it up, and it's been about 5 months now.
You don't even want to have sex with her all the time.
I don't, but it's like...
she's a butterface, and you don't want to have sex with her all the time.
But she's hot, and she does everything else. I mean,
but she's a butterface or she's hot? Which?
She's
There's no hot butter faces.
I know.
There's hot butter popcorn, but there's no hot butter face.
You're right. So what do you I mean, she's in therapy and talking to her therapist about it. I just got to figure out.
And you're feeling guilty. Listen to you.
I know. You got it.
Are you insane?
What?
Are you insane? The best thing that can happen with any chick is when you start making her feel like she's going crazy.
She is going nuts.
That's perfect.
Now. She was going every other
You're
week.
in the catbird seat, baby. Are you kidding me?
So this means that she just went out and bought me 3 pairs of pants while I was at lunch just now, and I'm home drinking a beer waiting for her to show up. I couldn't believe it, and so that's why I'm thinking you might be right. As a matter of fact, I know you're right. That's why I had to call. It's like I backed off, and I'm acting like an effing woman, dig?
Yeah.
And it's working. I can't believe it. I don't know how it's
putting chicks on ice is the most effective thing a man can possibly do. For example, ever have a chick who turns into one of these born-again virgins on you?
Yes.
A chick who had sex with her ex-boyfriend and her ex-ex-boyfriend and her ex-husband, and she's been having sex with everybody, but now that she's met you, she's decided this time she's not going to make the same mistake she's made in the past. So this time, she's going to make you wait as long as she can get you to wait. Like, she'll try to get you to say, I love you, or try to get you to commit to them with her, or something, before she's going to have sex with you. Now, you, in the position of the guy going, why can't I get any? You're sitting there saying to yourself, what's wrong with me? All the other guys got laid, why not me? That is a situation where you have to put that chick on ice.
Yeah, it's
and for those of you who don't know what it means to put a chick on ice, let me give you an example of it. A real conversation I've had more.
Send her to a shrink, you're right.
Yeah, perfect. Here's a conversation I've had more than once.
Okay.
This is absolutely true conversation.
Okay.
One chick just told me, even though she told me about her abusive ex-boyfriend who beat the crap out of her, blah, 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 but she missed him. She still missed him, and every once in a while she felt horny and would like to go back to him to have sex, but me, she wouldn't have sex with.
Oh, my.
And the reason she gave is, I haven't known you long enough yet. I mean, I don't know you well enough, and that was a mistake last time. I jumped into bed too fast. So here's what I say. I say, okay, guess what? Yeah, that's fine. Take all the time you need. But I'm not coming to see you. I'm not going to visit you. I'm not going to take you to dinner. We're not going away for the weekend. We're not driving anywhere together. I am not driving all the way down to Orange County to see you. Whatever. That's fine. But what is going to happen is if you have any questions about me, you can send me an email or call me, and you can tell me what your question is, and I'll answer it. Because if it's a matter of not knowing me well enough, you take all the time you need. And I'll be happy to write back with written responses in detail as to any questions you may have about me. But if you think, you little attention whore, that I'm going to keep buying you drinks and having dinner with you and going to El Torito with you, you think I'm going to do that, you believe me, you're barking up the wrong tree. That's never going to happen with me.
Right.
And so what ends up happening? By the way, any chick who thinks I'm talking about her, guess what? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a list of chicks who've all played this same game with me, okay? So what ends up happening is they start calling me incessantly, wanting to see me, wanting to go away for the weekend with me. Hey, no. Not going to happen. I once told a chick, I said to her, you know what? I don't go away for the weekend with chicks I'm not having sex with.
There you go.
Then, what I do is I say, guess what? I just went away for the weekend. And they don't know whether I went with anybody or who I went with or what. I might not have gone with anybody. They don't know what I'm doing. Now they're just going insane. They're going bonkers. And my attitude is, you know what? I should be the ex-boyfriend who used to punch you in the face and then you would have makeup sex. Instead, what am I going to be? The dope who takes you out to dinner all the time and buys you birthday cards and stuff and sits around waiting for something to happen? It's not going to happen. Now, you've got to put chicks on ice. You've got to.
You got it. Blow me up, Tom.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Now, I know that chicks I dated in the past listen to this show. And every time I tell a story like this, that's like, you're talking about me. You're talking about me. Honey, do you think you're the only one who tries to pull this crap? Let me tell you. I don't care which one you are. Let me tell you, there's a lot of chicks playing the same game. I meet these hot chicks, and, they've all got about the same MO. They're all in their 20s. They're all, very, very hot looking, and they're used to getting all the attention from guys. And any number of them have a self-esteem problem, and they all have ex-boyfriends who either mentally abuse them by, putting them on ice or driving them crazy in one way or another, or in some cases physically abuse them. Now, I am totally opposed to any kind of physical abuse of anybody under any circumstances, period. Don't get me wrong. I do not advocate that. In fact, anybody who's done that belongs in prison. That's where they belong. Let's make this clear. But through my years of experience, I have found that the guy who treated a woman like crap the most is the guy who gets laid the most. The guy who is missed when he's gone. The guy who, when she takes out the power tools late at night, is thinking about the old days and how great that makeup sex was. And I can't tell you how many times I said, well, guess what? I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm just not that kind of person. And then the woman's mind works like this. It's like, well, this guy might be a keeper. I don't want to appear to be a slut, so I'm not going to have sex with him. And the way you have to respond to that is by saying, all right, dear, you don't want to have sex with me. You had sex with all these other guys, treated you like crap, but not me. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to see you anymore. You can call me. You can write me. You can send me an affidavit. You can send me a list of how about a list of 20 questions? Most important things you need to know about me, I'll write back. But if you think I'm going to take you out take you to dinner, take you out for drinks, take you out to a club or whatever, if you think I'm going to do that stuff, or if you think when I go out of town for the weekend, I'm going to take you with me and have you sleep in bed with me, are you kidding? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, there are women out there who think it's amazing, too. They'll actually have you stay over their place. Ever stay over some chick's place who doesn't want to have sex with you? But you think, oh, God, she wants me to stay here. And so you're ready. You're licking your chops. You're ready to go. And then she comes out wearing like a burlap sack and says, okay, you sleep over there and I'll sleep over here. Good night. You ever have one of those? I don't understand what these chicks are doing. But I do know one thing. They're attention whores. And they need to be dealt with. And these are the ones you put on ice. These are the ones you say, you know what, sweetheart? I'll talk to you, but I'm not going to see you. You know what? Call up the abusive ex-boyfriend. Get a roll in the hay with him. But you are not going to get me to sit here and wait for you to put out. I've actually had women brag to me. I've made guys wait 5, 6, 7, 8 months. I've had guys wait. I had the one chick who said to me, I've heard your radio show. Do you really believe 3 strikes, you're out? Do you really believe that? By the way, again, if you think you're the chick I'm talking about, believe me, I'm talking about more than one. It's not any one person. And I have said, yes, I do believe that. And I had the response once. It was like, so does that mean that if I don't have sex with you tonight, we're not going to see each other anymore? I said, well, yes, it does. And she said, what if I don't feel I know you well enough? Well, I'll tell you what, just after this, rather than going out to hockey games with me or dinner with me or drinks with me or whatever, lunch with me, here's what you're going to do. You're going to sit down and write a list of questions. And in fact, you can put big spaces in between the questions, and I'll fill in my responses and email it back to you. We can do it like a Word document, or I can fax you. I'll answer all questions. So, when you feel you've learned enough, when you feel you've probed enough, when you feel you've interrogated me enough, and you know enough to have sex with me, then we can see each other again. Of course, the bottom line with many relationships is that there is no chemistry. In fact, I shouldn't even be calling these relationships. Many of these situations, there's just no chemistry. Many of the women who say, I won't have sex with you because I don't want to appear to be a slut, have been sluts with lots of other people before you came along. And if they felt like they were lusting after you, they were hot for you, they wanted you, they needed you, they had to have you, they'd have had you. So if they have to go through this whole process of saying they don't know you well enough yet, they don't know anything about you, are you kidding? How many times have men and women out there had sex with somebody you don't even know their name, or you don't even know their last name, or you don't know where they live, or you're not even sure if they work where they say they work, or do what they say they do. You just jumped in because the time was right and you needed it. So trust me when I tell you that in most of these cases that I'm talking about, most of these women generally just simply, they're saying, I don't know you well enough. But what they want is they want to have something that acts and smells and tastes and looks like a boyfriend. Someone who will take them out to lunch. Someone who will take them out to dinner. Someone who will take them out to drinks. Someone who will sit there and listen to them, yammering on and on and on. Somebody they can call up during the week and tell about their day at work, but then never actually have sex with them. And that person is what I call a time filler or a space holder. Somebody who's just there holding the position of boyfriend until somebody she's really attracted to comes along. Or somebody she will want to look like a slut for will come along. And then she'll have sex with him. Then she'll break up with the poor sucker who's been wasting his time laying down the old Visa card at the El Torito waiting for something to happen. Okay. You get me on this?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I got a question for you, man. My girlfriend found my porn collection, and she's kind of mad at me. She thinks that masturbation's just like cheating.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
At 18, masturbation is not only a birthright, it's a necessity.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Boys Night Out. We're just a few weeks away now from the world premiere of Boys Night Out. It's coming Friday, June 17th, 8 p.m., Wiltern Theater. And I will be your MC for this show that I am producing along with Bobby Slayton. It will be me with our headliner, Bobby Slayton, and a night of comedians talking. It's all guys talking to all guys. It's male bonding at its best. Do not bring your wife, your girlfriend, your lover, your apostle Q, your mistress, your niece, your mom, your daughter. Don't bring any of those people. By the way, it's Father's Day weekend. Bring your dad. That'd be a good idea. But if not your dad, bring your son. And, of course, you'll be there with all the sons I've never had all at one time. It's going to be quite the show. And imagine if I did this show without any restrictions at all. If I could say to you, in the language and the sentiment that I truly want to, all of the things that I don't say here, I'm going to say them at Boys Night Out. It's going to be an outrageous evening, and you're going to want to be there. And it's right now one of its kind. I don't know if we'll ever do it again. But it's Boys Night Out Friday, June 17th at 8 p.m. at the Wiltern Theater. Don't be a pussy. Don't knuckle under and tell that bitch that she's going to come with you. She's not, okay? You're going with the boys. All right? For tickets, you call Ticketmaster at 213-480-3232. 213-480-3232, or you can go to Ticketmaster.com. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Are you with a chick and just trying to find excuses not to have sex with her? It's Tony on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Tony.
Let's see. Long time listener, first time caller.
I love that.
And I like the fact that I remember one of your listeners didn't like people saying that, so for that reason I said it. Anyway, married 25 years. First 20 years, begged my wife. For 20 years, begged her for sex.
Uh-huh.
Now, before we got married, she was an animal, a nymphomaniac, and I thought, oh no, I can't let this one get away, which is what I wanted. I have nothing but respect for sluts.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, as soon as the ring went on, the deal was off, and I ended up married to a born-again virgin for about 20 years.
Oh, boy.
I had enough of that crap, and I said, I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of begging. So I left, and after about a year, in the course of that separation, I couldn't believe the turnaround. It was like I was dating again. I had this animal constantly attached to me, humping me, dry humping me, doing things to me, wanting me to do things to her I hadn't even dreamed about. Looked great to me, sounded great to me, so we went for counseling, just like you suggested, and things have gone quite well. Got back together, been married a few years since, total of 25 now, and it's interesting, though, I don't know if it's because of my age, I am not quite as interested. I don't know if it's because of her, interested in
Well, maybe 20 years of begging took some of the edge off.
I think so.
Because I believe me, I have been in these relationships where I have wanted somebody so badly, and I got rebuffed so often. Eventually, I lost interest. And another example, because I talked about these chicks who become born-again virgins when you start dating them and stuff.
Yes.
I have had chicks who I begged, pleaded, like, I tried everything. grabbed, groped, licked, touched, whatever I could get my hands on.
Sure.
And got turned down so many times, I just lost interest and stopped calling. And then had these chicks calling me, hey, what are you doing? How come we never get together? Hey, I'm wearing a negligee. Why don't you come over? And I'm like, I couldn't be less interested now. Yeah, you got what you wanted. You made me beg for the longest time, but it had the opposite effect. Now I can't stand you anymore. Now I don't want... seeing you naked is the last thing I want to see.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So she pretty much begs me all the time. She's the aggressor. Fine with me. I'll service her once a week, maybe, if at all.
And you're just doing it to get her off your back.
Right.
Wow. You never thought as a guy you'd be servicing somebody just to get them off your back to stop begging you for sex.
You know,
when you were 20, you'd have paid cash for a woman like that.
Yes. I think when I was single as a young kid, I used to. So, but that, I got to tell you, your advice applies to men of all ages, not just the young ones.
Oh, absolutely true, Tony. Absolutely true. Anthony on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Not much, Anthony.
I have a good story for you, man, though. There's this one girl. You know, I'm 19. I've been listening to your show for a good while now. Yeah. Well, there's this one girl, right? Like, when I first hooked up with her, she was a virgin and everything.
Right.
And, like, now I keep just acting like I'm falling asleep to not bang her, man.
Uh-huh.
Each time she calls me out, she's like, hey, Anthony, you know, what you doing? I'm like, I'm with the homies right now.
Right.
And she's like, come over. I'm like, I'm with like 3 of my homies. You know, if your homegirls are going to come through, I'll go over. Otherwise, you know, I'm busy right now.
She's not a girlfriend, is she, Anthony?
Oh, no, of course not. Never that.
Okay, well, don't let that happen.
Excuse me?
Don't let that happen.
Oh, never. I ain't want no girl right now. I ain't want no relationship till I'm like 30.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still going to school. I got a lot of things going for me. I ain't need no girl right now.
Mm-hmm. So she keeps begging you for sex, and you just aren't interested.
Yeah, she keeps calling me up, and each time I come through, each time I go and, like, see her, it's because my homies are going to get some from our homegirls. And then even when it's like that, I just be acting like I'm falling asleep and everything just because I don't want to do her.
Unbelievable. Anthony, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Michael on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Michael.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
All right. Yeah, I was married for a really long time, and the divorce is finally going through. And for 9 years, all I did was beg and plead with her, come on, let's have sex. It got to the point that she didn't want to have sex. She would go and tell me, go upstairs and...
If only we could say that on the air.
So anyways, what happened after that is I just got so uninterested in sex, and to make a long story short, I asked her for a divorce one day, and she agreed, and then after that, all she wanted to do was try to have sex. I mean, she even laid on the bed naked, shaved everything. And I was like, no. And today we are...
See, women find it hard to believe that men would ever turn down sex.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, the thing about it is she's a very attractive woman.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she's very attractive, very nice body. She's, 5'2", 111 pounds, and, I mean, very attractive woman. But...
But what?
It just, it grossed me out. Why do I want to get turned down again? I don't want to get turned down. Yeah. Hell, I can go upstairs in the bathroom. And that's what I just basically did the last, year or two of our marriage. Why even go through that?
So, well, how long are you going to stay around with this?
Oh, no, we're divorced now.
Oh, okay. Now you're divorced. And did you tell her why?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, that was the icing on the cake. The sex was.
Mm-hmm.
That was icing on the cake.
So you explained that to her, and what did she say about that?
She didn't say anything about that, Tom.
Wow.
I mean, she said nothing about it. She, about the only complaint she ever had in our marriage was the fact that I would throw my clothes on the floor. I am not lying. That's about the only complaint she ever had. And I would say, well, about this? What about this? Come on, can't you give me, can't you do this a little, do it like this, honey? And nothing ever changed. And so basically, that was the nail in the
She
coffin.
put it right in your face, and you didn't even want it anymore. This is what I'm talking about. It's Travis on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
I'm okay, Travis.
Oh, man, I got a story for you. I met this girl about 2 years ago, and everything was totally awesome. And then when she found out that I own my own house and I make good money, she wanted pretty much make the relationship get a little bit better. So I take her in my home, and pretty soon, I pretty much knocked the bottom out of it. And ever since then, she just constantly wants my dode, And she, the other day, I broke up with her about a week ago, and she comes back to me and tells me she's pregnant. And I'm just like, oh, no. And I know it's just like a little game that she's trying to play because I don't really want her no more, So she comes over all the time, and like the other gentleman said, she lays on the bed naked with her legs spread, wanting to lay pipe, and I won't go there, And the other day I tried to kick her out, and she told the police officer to his face, I have established residency. You can't kick me out, and he can't kick me out. Went back upstairs to go to bed. Psycho broad, and I just wanted to call in and let you know that there's tons of crazy women out there that are going to do that and try to run game on all these guys, and it almost happened to me. But, yeah, pretty much, she'll lay on the bed, and I won't go there. I'll just stick. Everything's cool,
Well, I wish we could say that on the air, too.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
If they hurt me, I stop loving them.
There's no second chance forgiveness.
If someone took a knife and put it in my heart and I survived, I could not come out of the hospital and say, I love you, man. I couldn't do it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Los Angeles, the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Dan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hola, Professor Dad.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks.
Good.
I just tuned in, didn't quite catch it all, but I just wanted to let you know from what I did catch. I've been with this woman for the last 3 years. I just told her over the weekend that, it's not working out. Got to go. Bye-bye. And there was no sex. Well, there was. Okay, you couldn't have said it better, man. I couldn't agree more. In the first 6 months, that's about as good as it's going to get. Okay?
That is as good as it gets, and then it goes downhill or flatlines after that.
It's itchy after that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't agree more. And now I put my foot down. I tell her, hey, this isn't working right. This ain't going the way I want it to go. Now, all of a sudden, she knows my foot's out the door. Now she's just wanting me like a rabid animal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, see, when that happens, then I want them even less. Because how pathetic is that you have to give somebody an ultimatum to get them to have sex with you?
Exactly. And it's not only is it a turnoff, it's kind of insulting. It's kind of appalling. It's a little bit of all those bad feelings, I guess. It's just, all of a sudden her story changes, and all of a sudden she's attracted and hot. Well, where were you from the get-go? In the first 6 months, and then after things tapered off after that, it's like, hey, come on. Now I'm going, oh, I want you.
Yeah.
Come spend the night. Let's go do this, let's go do that. No, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested.
Right. I never want to be put in a position where I have to give someone an ultimatum. Never.
Yeah.
If I give you an ultimatum, then you're interested in me, then I want it even less.
It's an uncomfortable position to be in. But the way I see it, she didn't leave me much of a choice. I mean, I was bored.
Yeah.
I was basically just bored. So I let her know I was being bored, and I let her know why I was bored, and now all of a sudden things are changing.
Did she ever have an explanation for why things had been that way?
Well, no, not really. I mean, now all of a sudden she's interested again, but I'm not. and I'm not going to give in, you know. She keeps saying, oh, I want to come over, I want to come over. I say, no, I'm going out, or I'm doing something, or, you know, I just make excuses. But
and now it's driving her absolutely crazy. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.